Has this ever happened to you? You're out making a video, it's a beautiful cloudless day, you want to get that establishing shot, so you take your drone up and you go back to your editing studio and you put everything in, you put that establishing shot in, and you're just like, this shot would have been so much better if I had just come at a different time, or if the clouds were a little bit different, or if I had just come at sunset or sunrise. What do I do now? What's up guys, thanks for checking out another video. My name is Anthony and I make videos that I hope will teach and inspire you to make better videos. If that's something that you're into, consider subscribing to this channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time I post another video. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up whenever you feel like it's been enough time for you to like it, because I mean, I know me, I don't hand out thumbs up just to anybody, but I appreciate if you did. Let's move on. All right, before we get too deep into this video, I wanted to let you guys know, give you kind of a warning that we will be using a combination of Premiere Pro and After Effects. If those aren't something that you guys feel comfortable with, this might not be the tutorial for you, because I might be going a little too fast. I'm really bad about not giving you guys all the minor details that go into it, but I did make a video on Premiere Pro that you can watch right here to get started if you're a beginner in Premiere Pro. For After Effects, I haven't made that video quite yet. After Effects is kind of a beast of a program, and there's a bunch of tutorials out there. I'd suggest that you go watch some of those and really dive deep into it, but hopefully after you watch this video, you will be able to do this sky replacement that I did in this video. So let's check out that final result. Gonna grab this footage. We'll just make a new sequence here. All right, now we've got that isolated. We need to find the part that we're gonna be using. But before we do that, you see that this is not in 24p. I like to use 24p as my normal timeline, so we're gonna change that by right-clicking, and I'll go to sequence settings and change my time frame to 23.976 frames per second. Okay, here's the part where we're gonna need a little bit of help. I'm gonna use this little piece right here where I'm pushing in and stop right here. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is make my just normal adjustments. So we'll go into effects control. We'll fix that horizon line. I think, if I remember correct, it was like 1.5. That looks pretty decent. Then color adjustments. So we'll go to our color panels. Fix this shot a little bit. I was planning on kind of sitting up a little bit more, but I think I'm kind of down more than I thought I would be. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll take this footage and put it into After Effects by right-clicking. Once this menu comes up, you'll go to Replace with After Effects Composition. All of the effects that you did in the Lumetri panel will cross over with that, so everything should be there. We're gonna make a new project and call it Sky Replace. So everything came over to After Effects just like it was in Premiere Pro. So if we go to Effects Control, you can see that Lumetri panel is there, and it's got all the settings that we used. Now, we're gonna replace the sky, but we need to replace it with something, and for that, I like to go to Story Blocks. If you don't have the footage or the photos that you need for a sky replacement like this, Story Blocks is a great place to go to get that footage. So I'm gonna go to Images and type in clouds. We've got a few that I like, and I think this one looks kind of more like the sky that we have. It's kind of a wider angle, and it's kind of got the gradient that our sky already has. This one matches a little bit more than any of the other ones, I think. Let's get this one. So we've got our sky, and we need to just scale that down and put it about, I'm gonna say like right there. Right now, it doesn't look like a sky replacement, and for obvious reasons. The way that I like to do a sky replacement like this, when it's got a bunch of tedious little things up on top, little micro details in the background, it would be really hard to mask that whole thing out and mask it for the entire video. In this piece of footage, I think it's actually more beneficial to use something that we all know that we can use, but you might not think about using it for something like this, and that is the key. So we'll go to key and we'll get the Keylight plus key cleaner plus advanced spill suppressor in the image utilities bin. This gives you all the tools you need to make a really clean green screen, but also a really clean blue screen. So I'm gonna just drag that and put it on top of this layer, which is our footage. I'm gonna first take off all of the effects except for the Keylight effect. Now I'll choose like somewhere in the middle of where this gradient is happening in the sky. I'll choose that color. Now you can see that the clouds immediately come in, but we want to see what's happening with the actual photo. So I'm going to turn this cloud layer off, and you can see that it's a pretty bad key. So we're going to go in and fix some stuff. If we go into the screen matte, first let's turn this to screen matte right here. If we go into the screen matte options now, we can clip the blacks, and that's going to clean up the sky a bit. Now we need to clip the whites to clean up the ground area a lot, because there's a lot of blockiness going on in the ground area where we don't want the sky to be coming through really at all. So we'll clean that up just like that. You want to be careful not to go way beyond where you clipped the whites, because then it starts to reverse, and now you've got the white where it should be black, and you've got black where it should be white. So we'll make sure to keep that good and clean right there. And now we can go to screen softness in the screen matte options and kind of turn that up. It'll give us a little bit of feather in the screen. You don't want to like overdo it. You just want a little bit, because it'll start looking really hazy and weird. And if you don't know what you're looking at as a video creator, if you're just watching it as a consumer, you'll just know that it looks weird. But as a video creator that does something like this, you'll know exactly. It gives away the trick if you go too heavy on your softness right there. So let's try this. Let's try where it is now. We'll turn this back to intermediate result, and we'll put our key cleaner on. That usually fixes a lot of stuff. There's some kind of magic in that key cleaner. So we'll turn our sky back on, and let's play through that a little bit and see what happens. All right, so you see we've got some really weird stuff happening on the left of the building, on that little circular high-rise piece, and on the right of the building, where it's really mirroring the building and the sky a lot. We're gonna fix that, but we're not gonna fix it like you think we're gonna fix it. For this instance, we're actually going to go to our footage file that we started off with. We're going to duplicate that layer and drag one of those underneath the sky. We'll actually delete all of our key stuff out of there. And now you'll notice that the sky, you might have noticed before, that it's a little bit too saturated. It doesn't look like it fits this scene. And that's because it is a little bit too saturated. But since we've got footage underneath now, we can actually hit T, go to our opacity, and bring that down. And it'll blend into the sky a lot better. So if I turn on that first layer, that first instance of our footage with the keyer on it, now the building pops back out in front, and the clouds look a lot more natural when the opacity is turned down. Now we could go to like 10%, and that still adds a ton of depth. Here's off, here's on, off, on. So if I turn that up a little bit to about 20%, that should be exactly what we're looking for. Now let's see if we can still notice that weird stuff that was happening in the building. I think that's looking really good. All right, so now one more step and we will be done. This image is moving from small to bigger. So we're gonna actually move the sky just a little bit. I know it's, you know, way in the background and almost indistinguishable, but just to give it that little extra flair, we're gonna go into our scale and we're just gonna raise it up at the end just by like 1%. So it was at 102. We'll raise it up to 103 just to give it a little bit of extra movement. Another thing we could do is to go into our effects, distort corner pin. So if we go to corner pin, put that on there, it should give us some markers in the corners. Yeah, way up there, because that's where the end of the image is. The corners kind of like that. And then we'll just kind of upper left and upper right, put a keyframe there. Go to the end and we can just kind of do the opposite. It'll make the clouds look like they're moving from right to left. Now, let's see how that looks. Oh, the camera's falling again. Oh, really weird. I cleaned the suction cup that this is attached to, and now it's not sticking as well as it did before I cleaned it. What is up? My desk is bulging now. I need a new desk. I'll stick this to the glass and see if that works. Okay, that's better. It feels a lot better. It feels a lot more stable, more sturdy. Okay, so let's check this sky out again, the point of the video. And I think that looks pretty natural. I think it looks pretty good. And guys, that's it. That's one way to replace a sky in a drone video. I know this was a super niche example. We're just pushing in one simple shot. You'll probably have to use a different method if you're doing an orbit shot around an object or something like that. Maybe I can follow that up in another video. If you guys want that, comment below. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this from me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you're notified every time I upload. That's it for this video, guys. See you in the next one.